Hey, it's Don, the Auction Professor here. I've got some hauls here I was going to show you. I went to one of my pickers yesterday, and this is from a 1,000 record lot that I got the beginning of this week. This is not even half of the good ones. I'll probably just show you some of the highlights out of this lot here. And then I got some postcards over here on the side. There's a few good items in the postcards. That's the stack of postcards I got. You can see there's probably 70, 80, maybe 100 postcards there. Some really early California and some really early good ones that are something you should be looking for. If you're not, you're really missing out. This is a subject which I'll touch on a little later in the video that I always sell and always make horrendously a good amount of money on them. And a couple of the postcards in there that I will definitely get $200, $300, $400, maybe even $500 or $600 for. Again, I'll touch base on those at the end here. But this is what I got. I'll go through some of the bigger items, and then I'm going to flip over so we can do some close-ups. It's a little hard to see. I've got a bunch of little toys in here. This is an Army Men lot that I got. I've got $8 into this lot right here. May not look like much to most people, but I'm going to break it down for you and show you all what's in here. This is the typical kind of stuff that you can find. This doesn't matter what time of year it is. This stuff will sell all year round. I don't care if it's summer or not. You'll still get about the same price regardless of what it is. This kind of stuff just doesn't show up enough. So a lot of the collectibles, regardless of like clothing not selling, a lot of the collectibles are scarce items or are harder to get. Even if the item isn't something mass appeal, it's those items that sell the best, and they sell year-round for us. Again, so for those of you who think, you know, just not everything's going to sell during the summer, a lot of items do sell during the summer. I'm going to go ahead and get the bigger things out of the way here. Let's go with these right here. Now, these aren't big sellers, especially this time of year. I only got a couple bucks into all of these together. They're actually, let me open one up so you can see what they are. They're from the 30s or 40s, all original. It still has some of the original packing material. They're literally like the bells you'd hang on the doors with a little log, Yule log on it. Still work. Decent items. They're in pretty decent condition. Again, these aren't huge movers right this time of year, but come Christmas time, I'll probably get 12 to 14 bucks a piece from. Again, I got like $2 into all three of them. So let's get that out of the way. And another one, just the same thing. Let's see here. I don't want to mess the box up any more than it is. Same thing, more bells. They all have 3 bells on them, I think. They're all there. Looks complete. Let's see, the next one, again, same thing. They're all about the same thing. This is the time of year, as I said. I've gotten quite a bit of other Christmas items, but these I just got in, so I thought I'd throw them in here. Very nice items, very vintage. Should do fairly well. Again, this is something I'll have to hold on till Christmas. I paid $2 for this one here. Let me show you what it is. I think it's missing a piece, but it's actually a cigarette lighter. This should be screwed back in, so there's a screw missing, no big deal. But for $2 for parts, these usually go for 60 or 70 in good working order. Again, it just needs a little bit. It's a US made. It looks like it should still be able to be filled. It's like a Zippo of some sort. Pretty interesting item. They go back to, say, the 50s or 60s. A good working one of these may go for 50 or 60 bucks. Some go for even 100, 150, depending on the make. It's usually the German ones that go for the most. This is a U.S. made, so I'll probably clean it up a bit, put a new flint in there, and probably get 50 or 60 out of it with 10, 15 minutes worth of time. It looks like there's a latch missing on the top. I may look into that. I maybe have a part for it. I do save a lot of little parts just for things like this. When you do a lot of what I do, and you see lighters all the time, or you see lanterns all the time, or you see just odds and ends, buttons, uniforms, jewelry, you'll set stuff aside that are broken pieces that you can use to fix other items. I always save broken jewelry, the stones out of it. If they don't just come out real easily, I'll save the whole piece. I've got hundreds of different sizes of stones, different colors, from literally 4+ years of doing this. And we'll use the stones that we save from broken jewelry, and we'll use that to fill in spots that are missing in some of the jewelry that we get in, the new ones. If it's only missing a stone or two and we have the stone, we just replace the stone. I have some jeweler's paste and the whole works. But most of the stuff in here is fairly interesting. Advertising pieces. I'll just show you the rest of this stuff here. I've already put some in bags so it doesn't get damaged or injured any more than it already is. But I'll show you close-ups on this one. I think will be the best to show you these items here. I will show you this. This is another item here. I'll have to stand up to do it. This is a vintage 1940s or 50s rice paper and bamboo Japanese parasol. It's an original. It's got 2 spots on it. I don't know how well they'll show off on there, but there's 2 minor holes in it. These can be repaired. I actually have rice paper because I do repair vintage paper items, and I could repair that really, really carefully, and I would fill that in, and then I could actually take some watercolor and touch it up. You'd have to say that you did that if you did it, but these are pretty easy to work with. This one's not too bad condition. It is very early. It's all bamboo. If you haven't seen one of these are the same kind you see in the movies. It's literally handmade. Every little stitch, they cut the bamboo by hand, and it's got a made in Japan vintage metal piece up on top. The rest is all wood or cut out wood. Quite interesting. I paid $1 for it. It had the damage to it. I knew that. I may not fix it. I may just throw it back out for, say, 25 bucks and just out the door. In real top good condition, one of these goes for maybe 50, 60. With a real interesting design, could go like 120, somewhere in there. But this isn't one of those real fancy ones. And then I got just a few pieces, some glassware. This is actually from a hospital, American Hospital Supply Corp. I love vintage glass that's like medical or chemistry or things like that, or like gold related or essayers or anything like that. This is pretty an interesting piece. I paid 50 cents for it. I'll probably keep it, I think. It's a vintage measure. It's pretty interesting. It would be used to give out doses at the hospital. It's something that I like. I like this kind of stuff. I like military style stuff like this too. An egg cup. I don't mess with too many pottery items, but this is partridge pattern. It's got a small mark on the bottom, but it's just an egg cup, and egg cups don't come up very often. I know somebody would probably take it just to use, even if worst case scenario, another 50 cents, so $2 for those. Mortar and pestle piece. This is 1/2, obviously. It's a numbered 32 ounce, and it's solid glass. I have the bowl for this or the other part, so for $1 I figured I would get it. Otherwise, you know, it's just nothing to somebody. But putting it together for the $1 with the other part I have, that's a good deal. I'll save parts all the time for items that I do occasionally run into. These are very common when you go to like sales that have hospital related items. It would have came from, you know, the same source as this cup, but that's literally what I look for. Sometimes you'll see cups similar to this that are made out of glass that are actually eye cups to rinse out your eyes, hospital pieces. I've got a couple of them in my collection, and I probably have 1 or 2 to sell, and I usually sell those pretty easily for 10 to 25 bucks, somewhere in that range. And another one which I'll probably show you close up too. This is a Slink toy, probably 1940s, 50s. It's a chalkware, meaning it's made out of plaster. It's a 50 caliber machine gunner. This toy company made a lot of farming. They only made a few, I think 8 designs that were made out of chalkware. I've only had a couple of them. They're very scarce. They don't go for a ton of money. I can't find a recent sale on this, but I'm guessing I'll probably get 50 to 75 bucks for this one here. I paid, I think, $4 for it. I had a little doubt whether it was original since I hadn't seen this one before, but a quick search, you know, Google search, and it was right there. So I knew it was an authentic piece. It matches. It was airbrushed. It's got everything it should have. But I'll show you a close-up of this one because it's pretty interesting. And then, as I said, I've got the postcards over here. Mostly smalls, mostly small stuff, but I'll show you close-ups on these. Now there's a couple high-dollar ones in here which I've pulled from collectors on many occasions just in the last month or two. It's an area that's went up in price, doubled since last year. Literally doubled, and that price was doubled from the year before. What you want to look for are Lake Tahoe real picture postcards, and you might go to an antique mall and see some in there. So you're gonna, you know, have to pay some attention to researching a little bit if you want to do something like that. But I've sold Lake Tahoe cards almost every single week for probably the last 30 weeks or more. No exaggeration. I look for them at antique malls, as I've said. This is one of my bolos. This is an insider. This is a hack for somebody who's out there trying to get the what to look for quick. Usually when you go to an antique mall, they'll separate the postcards by state. So all you got to do, Lake Tahoe, go to the California section for Lake Tahoe, and you are going to find some, I bet you $1 million bucks, even some of the normal printed cards of just scenes of Lake Tahoe with like gas stations in Lake Tahoe, or a grocery store in Lake Tahoe, or a little stop stop and go place in Lake Tahoe. $500-600 for some of those. I've got one in here that's the inside of a casino, which I'll show you a close-up on. I might be ended up putting $700-750 on that as the starting price as a buy it now, and then take whatever I can get. A lot of those kind of cards, inside views from Lake Tahoe, go for a horrendous amount of money. The top three are in the $500 range, and they do not contain anything gambling related in them. They're from a gambling establishment, but there's no real pictures of like roulette tables and things. One of the ones in here has a roulette table, which is just a killer image, real early vintage Lake Tahoe items. But let's flip on over to the close-up, and I'll show you some, and I'll show you some of the records, and we will go from there. Okay, so I told you I'd show you a couple of these on the close-ups. Here's the chalkware item. This is something I haven't seen, this particular one, but again, this is something that you will find or could run across. It may not be the same exact character or pose. I think there's 8, as I said, of these. 50 caliber machine gun. It literally says, I don't know how well you can see it, Slick Toys. We'll have to focus to get a little closer to you. Slick Toy Company. You can see it's a fairly neat marked item. But again, I don't know. I'm probably going to put, say, 75 on this one, and we'll take whatever we can get. Let's show you some of the other items. I'm going to show you the little toy items first. I'm just going to throw some out here so you can kind of see. This was in the lot. These are Marx, early Marx, or they're Auburn. Either way, it's a whole family for a dollhouse, the tin dollhouse. These look a little grungy and dirty, but these should clean up very nicely. They're rubber. So sometimes you can actually use a eraser from another, like a pencil eraser, and that'll clean these up fairly well. In fact, let me see if I've got one here. But you can use a pencil eraser on some of these when they're dirty. If you just literally spend the time, you can erase almost all of that dirt off of that. I don't know if you can see the difference there. Literally it looked just like that, just as dirty, but you can literally, this is a hack I guess you'd say, but on these early plastic toys that are semi-rubber, you can almost always erase most of the grime and dirt if it won't come off any other way. Literally this is what I do for them. You can get their faces all nice and clean. No soap or water, you usually don't need. Sometimes that'll be easily cleaned with soap and water, but just kind of show you, it's really easy to clean it. You'll probably have to come back in and clean them off a little better with some soap and water at the very end, but that'll get it all off. That's a fairly easy hack you can do for cleaning some of these early rubber toys. But again, this set here, I would probably put, say, $39.99 on the set. This is probably from the 40s or 50s. If it's an Auburn set, it's probably worth a little more. Very detailed. My guess is they're probably Marx, but I could be wrong. Not marked, but again, I don't have anything in that box. As I said, I paid $8 for this box. This one lot right here out of that box of toys will return my investment instantly. Here's some that don't look like much. But this character here, he comes off the horse if wish be, but this is actually Teddy Roosevelt. I'm not sure which set this is, but I am very confident that that's Teddy Roosevelt. Even in this damaged condition, I'm going to put this little lot of these Indians and Cowboys here together. These are all vintage early, either Marx or Auburn. Again, this came in the same lot. I'm probably going to put like maybe $57.50 on this lot of toys right here, what you see in this picture. And again, these are scarce characters. I don't see many of these early in this condition. Again, this one's a rubber. You can use an eraser to clean it up. Any one of these you see here. This one's probably a Marx. I'm not sure which set, some Frontier set. The earlier Marx are smaller than the newer Marx. So these aren't actually as tall as some of the earlier ones. But again, some of these could actually be Auburn. I'm not up on exactly which brands. I just know which ones sell better by the appearance of them and the age. Even the horse in the little worn condition that he's in is probably going to do well with this set. That's another lot there. And then these are here. This is probably the only reason I bought it to start with, even looked at it, because I saw some Tom Corbett in there. These are the Space Academy, Space Cadet characters. These date from the 50s. They would have been sold and had like a plastic domed helmet, original, and maybe little ray guns that they could have fit in their hands. These are originals. They came in several different colors. This is high sci-fi mid 50s era. There was a radio show. There was comic books from it, which I even have some of the comic books as well. This little lot here, I'm probably going to put like, I don't know, $59.99, maybe a little higher on it, and then just take whatever. The gray one's a little harder to get than some of the other ones. He's actually a soft rubber. He might actually not even be a Tom Corbin, but he sure looks like it. This one could be like maybe a Buck Rogers, possibly. I'll probably still sell him in the set unless I look him up on his own and he's worth money on his own. Even these right here I'd still put up at $57.50 minimum or higher. I'll have to look him up though, but he's probably a space cadet. He's about the right height, or darn close to it. Either way, it's a good deal right here. Again, I got $8 into them all. Here's a funky old 40s or 50s hard plastic painted Cowboy. Never seen this one before. I have no idea what it is. This is one of those iffies. This could go as high as 30 or 40 bucks for all I know. I'll do some little research on it, and then if not, I'll just throw it up as a 50s hard plastic Cowboy figure. These I see a lot too. This one's damaged. I've got a box of damaged ones. I'm just going to throw them all together, and then they will sell at the end in a big lot. And they always sell. People can fix these up. They're made out of pewter or, you know, lead or something, and literally they can be repaired. Let's see here. There's some other oddball stuff in there. I don't really know what these are. I think they're playing pieces from like some Pony Express game. And if that's what they are, stuff like this still sells. I might get $8 a piece for these. Who knows? But I'll have to look them up to know. I got some dogs here. This is I guess the pet store, Marx's pet store or animal show, one of the two. There's some crayon or something stuck on a few, but that comes off too. I've plucked most of it off. It just flicks off. So these can be washed again, and you can use the eraser. Right here, I'd probably put, say, $27.50 on these, or I might try and sell them individually. I'm not sure yet. I'll have to look up a little closer, but it's at least 20 bucks in dogs right here. People buy just individual ones too, bulldogs or whatever the case may be. Again, this is in the same box still for the same price. This is Rin Tin Tin. He needs a little cleaning too. He's got some of that green stuff on him, but I checked again. As I said, it will all come off. This figure right here, it's from the Rin Tin Tin set, Rough Riders. It would have Teddy Roosevelt on it too, not the same one I just showed you. But this right here, he's probably worth $8-10 bucks on his own. Let's see here. There's a couple baseball figures. These are probably from a cake, but they're still 1950s, I would say. 50s or 60s. Probably even on these, I would probably put, oh, I don't know, maybe $14.99 for the pair. And there's some early 50s Bandit figures. These show up, even the drivers. These are all fairly decent items to get. They're marbled plastic early. Again, this little lot of 4 figures right here, I'm probably going to put maybe $19.99 and just take whatever. Let's see here. Next ones. These are Marx Super Circus. I knew the monkeys right off the bat. I've had this set 2 or 3 times. Again, some are green, but it will come off. Most of these toys, as long as they're not melted or have something affixed to it permanently, they're cleanable. But these are just monkeys out of the Marx Circus set. It's a good lot. I'll probably put like $24.50 just on these monkeys here. There's 6 monkeys. And then I've got some oddball. These are Lido, Lido, I don't know how you pronounce it, but L-I-D-O. I've had many of them. I'm just going to put them in a lot with this rubber dude here, and then another horse. And I'll probably put, say, $14 on them, $13.99, and just take whatever. I might throw them in with some others. I think I might even have some of these others now that I think about it laying around. This lots of just horses sell too. I sold like 20 some odd horses not too long ago for $29.99. Buy it now. They sold immediately, so some horses go very well. You can kind of see it, but they're marked Lido inside. You can kind of see it there. They usually had like interchangeable little dudes. They'd have hats and things you could just swapped on them. But those are in there. Here's a Bergen, I think it is, or Bragen. Bergen. And I've got a couple of these. I don't know, maybe another half a dozen or more. I'll put them together. I get one here, one there. They don't show up very often. They're marked on the bottom too. They're similarly marked as Marx's, but they're not obviously Marx. There you go. I think you can kind of see it. This is another brand I do look for. I think you can see it there. This one's painted. It's in nice condition. It's a Chief. He might sell on his own. I'm not really sure, but I'll probably just throw them together with a lot. Better chance, quicker sell. Here's a couple dogs from some kind of weird place. I'll have to look these up too. Even little dogs like this, you still might get, say, I don't know, 15 bucks for 2 of them. I know that sounds crazy, but stuff like this sells all the time. And this one here is a promo from a cereal. This is Lady and the Tramp. I've got, I think, 2 or 3 others from the same set. I think it's a 6 dog set, and I've pieced them together. This is kind of the thing I'll just throw in a bin, and then when I get the whole set, I'll turn around and sell them. They're worth much more as the set. They're marked Disney. I think these are Marx too, maybe. No, it just says Walt Disney. Yeah, Walt Disney Productions on it. But these came in cereal, Kellogg's or something. These might sell for 2 or 3 bucks a piece, but as I said, I'm going to save them up and put them all together with a lot. If I don't find one in, say, another few more months, I might just put the ones I have up now, missing the one figure. But I haven't had this one. It's kind of a coincidence. It's one I needed, so I do pick up this kind of stuff. These were in the same box there. And there's a couple Cracker Jack characters out of here. These will throw in a lot, too. I'll probably get, 10, 15 bucks for about 15 of these, and I've got a bag of these, and I mean quite a few. I probably have 30 or 40 of these right now. I'll put them up in a couple lots. And then I buy the Marx stuff. This is just a Marx Chair. It was in a lot too, so I'll have to figure out what it came from and then just put it in a big lot with some of the other Marx I have. Let's move on to the next stuff I've got here. Let me grab this. Okay, here's the next item. This is an ashtray. It's an advertising one for Carrollton. Now these make a lot of the stainless steel things. It's actually a stainless steel ashtray. It's a nice early one. It looks like maybe 50s or 60s. I'll probably put like 57.50 on it and just see what happens. Who knows? I'll take whatever on this one. Given no point, I bet you I would get, say, 27.50 or higher probably. Let's see here. Magic calculator. Now these I've had before. They go for like 10, 12 bucks. I wouldn't spend a fortune to buy one of these, but you're walking up on them in like junk stores, usually something like this. It's just like a little calculator thing, like a toy basically. Made in Japan. It's a decent piece. Again, I got like $1 into it. I think I paid $1 for this. Let me put it back in the box. But it works still. I tested it out. As I said, I've had them before, and you can always get a few bucks out of them. Let's see here. Here's a Christmas light bulb. You can see the screw-in right on the bottom. This one's not in the best condition, but I do have a bunch of these now. As I said, I keep buying Christmas stuff right now. These are showing up in auctions right this minute. People aren't messing with them too much because it's too far out for Christmas for a lot of the people. They can't afford to sit on them, but I can afford to sit on stuff like this. I may retouch up the paint or something, clean up the bulb a little bit. I doubt it still works, but some of these work even after being 70, 100 years old, believe it or not. But again, this is going to go in a lot. I'd probably have $1/4 into it. This is an 1933 World's Fair. A lot of these aren't worth a ton of money. They're sure. You'll see them up on eBay. Let's see if I can show you how it's marked. It will clean up. That's just something stuck on the bottom. Nice image there on the front. Let's see if I can back up so you can get a better focus on it. There you go. But it's just a little charm box. With the heart shape, that'll sell it here. This probably will go for, say, I don't know, $17.50 range. Let's see what else we got here. I always like vintage glasses, even plastic. These are Cat's Eye, vintage mod, 1950s. I should sell these fairly well. Let's see if there's a name brand. They need a little cleaning up, but let's see here. Bausch and Lomb. These are actually Bausch and Lomb, so did not know that. These are probably some kind of reading glasses. I haven't looked at them real close, but I'll have to look these up, but I'd guess at least, say, 20 bucks, 30 bucks. I got $1 into them. I'll buy these kind of glasses all the time. I don't care if they're sunglasses or not. Collectors will take the lenses out and put sunglasses in them if they really want to. Some other things I always talk about. I always talk about the pencils. Let me back up a little bit so you can see it. I haven't had any for a little bit, and then I picked up some small items. What is this for? I think this is baskets for the ladies' work basket. Buttering Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. What do they do? Spread for bread. It's like a butter thing. It's a margarine. So this is dairy. This should go very well. I'll have to look this up, but at least 18 bucks on this ruler. Most of these were 50 cents or 4 for $1. I don't remember which. I just threw them in a lot, and he gave me some prices as we did it. That's not more than $1 on it. Again, I talked about pencils. Here's the Sue line. Again, as I said, these are, you know, like 4 for $1, 50 cents. This one's World War II one, Planes of World War II. See if we can back out just a little bit, or zoom in. I guess it might be a little better. But it's interesting. I haven't seen this one before. No idea on the age. Let's see if we can see if there is an age written on it. No, this one looks like it's probably World War II, actually, or just after. Here's some drafting pencils. I get these all the time. I use a lot of these. This one's red and black, and this one's red and blue. And they still have the leads in them. They both all still work. These sell fairly well. Probably $8-10 bucks a piece for them. Again, 50 cents. Get that ones out of the way. Here's a 1958 original Snoopy. It's dated. It looks very nice. Quite surprised, actually, that it's in such nice condition. This is a Norfolk and Western Railway pencil. Again, most of those I'll put like $14 to $17.50. Gas station pens I buy all the time. Gas station pens I buy all the time. This is Chuck's Courthouse Texaco. On these, probably look at like $17.50 a piece. I bought all the ones he had that said food or something. This is Tasty Taters potato chips. It's kind of hard to see with the light the way it is, but Tasty Taters potato chips still works. This one's probably a decent advertising piece from the 60s. I might put $27.50 and just take whatever. This one's a Bell Telephone Company one. This would have been the ones from The Office. Stuff like this, that's just junk ones, even the ones that are like Papermate pencils like this. A Papermate pencil from the 60s or 70s, even up into the 80s, if it's a mechanical similar to this one, they can still sell for 20 or 30 bucks, even the Papermates. So just keep an eye out on pens and pencils. These stuff sells. These business ones sell the best, the ones that are named to a specific company. Like here's a Marathon Oil one. It's an oddball shaped one a little bit. Again, this one's like $27.50, just like the Bell one's at least $27.50. But that's just the pens and pencils there. Let's see what else we got in here. So this one I see all the time. I saw it from across the room. These are like 15 bucks every time I get one. They're well marked on the bottom. Let's see if we can get a better vision of the marking. There you kind of go. But these sell very regularly. It's a metal tape ruler inside, so it's pretty interesting. And it has a lock. You can just turn the little stem and then it locks it so it doesn't come out. Well, it's supposed to. Oh, there we go. It's locked. See, now it won't come out, so it just looks like an apple. But again, 14-15 bucks. I buy little keychains too all the time. These things sell sometimes pretty quickly. It's a toilet seat, actually. Right there, it's kind of a jokey one. It's from 1960, so it's a vintage one. I'd probably put 14-15 bucks on it. Here's one from, let's see, where is this from? This is New York, the Thruway, the highway system in New York. Pretty interesting one. I don't know about this one, but I'll have to look it up. Otherwise, I'll probably just put $17.50 if I can't find one. It's got a maker company on it too, so it might be a better piece. Turtle pin. This one should do very well. It's an early metal one, probably 60s or 70s. It's cute. It's very realistic. I was quite surprised. I don't see them quite like this very often. It's got a cute face on it. Looks like a turtle very much, so it's a sea turtle. But I'll probably put like $18.50. I might list it in the animal section in collectibles instead of jewelry. Here's a nice Art Deco buckle. It's silver plated. I don't know the name Lavica. It might be a French name. I'm not sure. But this will clean up very nicely. It'll shine. You'll see the Art Deco of it really easily. Even with just a little bit of rubbing to it, you can see it cleans up. So this is a nice one. I got $1 into this. I'll probably put like $24.50. Someone with the K initial will probably buy it pretty quickly. It'll look much nicer. You'll be surprised. Let's see here what else we got. Oh, let's show you this one too. Here's a Scotty Dog. It's a cellulite or hard plastic keychain from the 40s or 50s. His mouth even moves too. I don't know how well you can see that, but his mouth moves up and down. There you go, his mouth moving. But that's pretty interesting. I've never seen this one before. I'll probably put $17.50 on it and see what happens. This one here is just a little tiny paperweight, but it's actually a designer one. It's handmade by somebody. You can see the name on it. Let's get you a better focus of it. There you go. There you go. I'm not sure on this one, but for 50 cents it was worth a shot. I'm going to put, say, $17.50. I've looked. I can't find anything by this person. It might be worth even more than I don't know. It's real flowers and lucite, though. As I said, lucite stuff always sells for us. I've got some Bakelite, too. Let's see what else we got here. This here is nothing much, but it was 50 cents, too. He didn't know what it was, I'm sure. I wasn't sure at first until I saw this character right here. I think you can see who that is. Let's focus it a little more. I think you can see that's E.T. It's an original vintage 80s E.T. bracelet. So for 50 cents, I don't know what it's worth. I'll probably put $17.50 on it and just take whatever. It's got charms on it. It's pretty interesting. I buy the early crosses. This is actually a World War I era. It's from France even. So when it's got wood in there, it's steel, something you might have seen on the battlefield almost. Or maybe literally it would be. This might be something I might list in the World War I section. It just has provenance from what it would be. The beads are right. Everything's right from that time era. So it's probably a pretty good item. I got $1 in this one and $1 and a couple more, and then I paid $2 for some nicer rosaries. I'll put, say, $24.50 on this if I put it in the military section, then take whatever. Here's another early one. These are some kind of weird glass beads. This one's an Italian version. It may be sterling. I don't see any marks, but I haven't looked at it super closely. Sometimes they're hidden into the design. But again, $1 for this one. I'll probably get 14-15 bucks out of it. Let me show you the better rosaries now. This is I'm going to show you the best rosary I've gotten in probably 6 months now. This one here is solid sterling. Every inch of this is sterling. I paid $2 for it. I didn't know it was sterling right off the bat. I saw the word Creed, and I've talked about it before. Creed stuff always sells. C-R-E-E-D. This is probably, say, $150 rosary. No exaggeration. That's probably literally what I'll get for this one here. It's a entirely solid silver piece. Let's get it where you can see it a little better. But there you go. I'll focus it again so you can kind of see it one more time. But it's a nice piece. I was really surprised. It was a Creed. I don't run into Creed very much, but when I do, I always make a ton of money. So you can see it's a nice one. It still glistens. This will be carefully cleaned up. It'll sell much better if it's been polished, this item. I've got an electric cleaner that does just fluid, so it's not going to damage it, and we'll clean this puppy up. But as I said, like $125 on that minimum. Got another rosary, too, that sometimes sells in the $300-400 range. This is a Stanhope. Now, I'm sure most of you have never heard of Stanhope. In the 1860s or 70s, he invented a way to make little tiny micro images printed that you can hold it up. All those little holes on this, I wish I could show you, because it has the 7 sorrows. Each one of those little holes you see on the face of this is a scene of the 7 sorrows from the Bible. And you hold it up to the light, and it's literally a full page. Fills your whole vision when you're looking through those little holes. It's just a shame I can't show it to you, but I've had little pieces from the 1876 World's Fair that was a little binoculars pair, and it actually had like a whole layout of the whole park if you look through the binoculars. A little tiny little thing, smaller than this, and that's where these started from. They're always called Stanhopes, like micro printing. But this one here, minimum I would get's probably, say, 70 all the way up to 245 is what the very last one sold for. You can look this up yourself, look up the comps. 75 to 245 is what these usually run for. It's Bakelite, this part here. It's got actual crystals. This one's new. This one has not been touched. This is probably from the 40s or 50s. Made in Czechoslovakia. Those are actual crystals. And again, this is a good investment for my $2. Pays for everything. Bakelite items always sell. If you're not familiar with Bakelite, it's like an early plastic. If you rub it, it usually smells like formaldehyde, because that's what's in it. Now, this is in Nashville, Tennessee. This is Bakelite too. I might get 20 or 30 bucks for this piece here. It's a nice early one. It's got the smell of formaldehyde. There's other ways to tell, but that's what I do. Let's see here. Another Crucifix. This one's early. It's a nice early brass one too. It's got I'm a Catholic, please call a priest. Might have been a World War II-ish era, or again another World War I era. These kind of things do sell in the World War I and II section. You'll find these on the battlefield even. Literally show up all the time. They have little cases you can get. But I'll probably put this in the military section and maybe put on it $27.50 again. This one was $1. Cufflinks. I do buy cufflinks a lot. I paid $2 for this pair. I do very well on the penny farthing bikes and the high wheelers. These are nice enamel set. I don't even know if they're marked. I didn't look honestly. No, but these are early. These squared off backs here. These are probably from the 40s, maybe even as early as the 30s. I'll probably put say $34.50 on them and just maybe even $45 or higher. They're better items than most. Nice enamel work on them. Nicely done. This is a Giovanni. The last two I sold, I got like 12 to 15 bucks for them. I haven't had a silver one. It's marked Giovanni on the back, so it's a fairly good piece. I paid $1 for this one. And then I got an 1870 sash buckle out of the same lot. Nice item, nice early piece, 1870s. Those are actually paste. This one I'll probably put like $57.50 on it and take whatever I can get. I got some gold out of this lot too. Okay, and I got some gold out of the lot too. I don't get much on these kind of deals. It was in a big, huge scrap box lot, and it's $1 what I usually pay. He buys them by the pound or something, I guess, at flea markets and estate sales and auctions. This is a pair right here. I paid $1 for the pair of here. Oops, if I can hold on to them. I paid $1 for these. Let's see if I can't get a better focus on them. There we go. There's a lot of stone in them. They look like the real stone, like jade, coral. Actually, it looks like it might actually be just all jade now that I look at it. Like 5 different colors of jade, which they do come in all these different colors. They're both marked 14 karat on the gold itself. The backs are marked 14 karat too. So for $1, if they're jade, and if the wife doesn't want to keep them, usually she gets first dibs on anything we buy jewelry-wise anyway, if it's real. But they're solid gold, 14 karat. This has got a gold pin to it. Let's see how well. It's hard to see these. But it's a twisted gold. This is an original vintage, say 1870s. This one should do very well. Again, this was $1. And then this one's here is a gold one. I've looked at it very closely. It does look like it's solid gold. Again, not a bunch of gold weight there, but for what I've got in everything, this adds to the value. There's probably a good $100, I would say there. Maybe a little more or a little less, depending on the gold value. But just in scrap gold, that's a good deal right there. And then I've talked about plated stuff too. I always buy gold-filled items when they're dirt cheap. And I happen to get lucky. These are circa, let's see here. One of these has a patent date of 1903. These items here I sell all the time. They always do well for me. Is this the one that's patent date on it? No. This one still is 1890s. A nice hand-engraved etched. That might actually be a real diamond chip on there. They did do stuff like that. It is something that you will see. But that is that. I'll probably say put $57.50 or higher on this piece here. It's still in good condition. It's got a chain. It's gold filled. Here's the other one. That's just let me get it untangled. This one here is even nicer than that one. These were $1 a piece, so it was in the same bin. And again, these could be very well diamonds. They put diamonds in, gold-filled items back in the day. They weren't worth as much. That could be very well a ruby in there. That's what they did back then. They weren't huge movers, but this one's marked 1903 on the inside. I've seen similar ones of these up to 125 bucks, just like this. You can look them up yourself. Look up gold-filled lockets, and then you can literally see the ones with the dates. It's an early chain on this one too. I didn't look at the chain yet. Let's see what the chain's marked. Or is it marked? No, it's got a name on it too. It's got a maker, F&G. So this is something I could probably track down very carefully and very easily. I got a little watch piece here. I've got some others to put this with. Here's a Girl Scout 10-year service pin. This is probably like a $24 piece right here. 10 years with a little chain pin attached. And then this one's neat. I knew what this was. I've had tie tacks of this, and that's what I thought this was. This is actually a U.S. Navy harpoon by McDonnell Douglas. It's an actual full-fledged military advertising piece used by the military. They would have worn this on their clothing. This is probably like, say, 50 or 60 bucks right here. This was $1 as well. 2 out of that lot. I showed you that. This is just a Trifari piece. It's got one stone that came off after I got it. That's why I put these in bags, because it saves them. If you do have it, see right there, that can easily be re-glued back on without any issue. But that's that. Put this back here, and I will grab a few of the records and go over a few records and just kind of show you. I got, I don't know how many $1,000 worth out of records out of this last group we got. Actually, let me just grab a few of the records, and then I'll just show you some few select ones. Most of the records in here are, you know, oddball ones too. Let me focus that a little better for you there. And let's darken that image up. There we go. Let's see. So this is a Sinks Mitchell. This is a $45 one. I should sell it somewhere in that range. I like the early Souls. This is a crossover. This is the Voice Masters. Let me see if we can't move the light around a little bit here and make it a little better for us. Okay, there we go. But the Voice Masters, this one's like $17.50. Bluegrass always sells for us. I always hunt for this kind of stuff around here. It does show up fairly often. At least for us it does. But we go to the same kind of places all the time, know where to look. This is like a $75 one. Aaron Hicks and Noah Holton. That's an oddball one there for sure. Need a better image of that. Let's brighten that up just a hair now. But there's that one. That one's 75 bucks. Joe Perkins. This one's probably in the 57 range. Let me flip through and just show you a couple other oddball ones. Here's an oddball soul one. It's a promo record. This one's pretty oddball name. Marie Adams and the 3 Tons of Joy. This one's probably a gospel soul. I should get, say, 34, 35 bucks for this one. Let's see here what we got next. Let's see here. Here's another promo. Again, I do promos more than anything else. Diane Ray. I just sold one by her just the other day. This is a different one, of course, but this one should go very well, too. Let's get a little better close-up on that so you can see the label without a doubt. But $17.50 I'm putting on this one. Let's just kind of pass you by some more. Here's some picture disc records. Let's back up a little bit. These kid ones here, these aren't big price movers. Again, I pay $1 for these. I should get, say, I don't know, 17, 18 bucks for this one. Here's another one, same price range, 27 maybe even with this one. It's a country. Over the Rainbow. Another picture disc. These are like the Vogue, but they're kids' versions. Red vinyl, Bonnie Pointer, Pointer Sisters. This one's kind of weird because of the color of the vinyl. Zoom back in here. Let's zoom back in so you can see it a little better. But there you go, Bonnie Pointer. This one's like only 14 bucks. Nothing special. This one's still in the sleeve. I'm just going to leave it in there. But Desi Arnaz. This is Lucille show. Desi and Lucy. This is her husband. This is the Babalu, his most famous song. This is like a $40, $45 record. Let's see here. These are just some other ones. $57.50. This one's $75. It's a rockabilly. This one should sell fairly well. This is Happy Wilson. I've had one of these before. It wasn't in as good condition, but I got only 35 or 40. But this one, the label's not the greatest. I can clean off this part here. It's literally just some paper. And I can make it look 100 times better at least right off the bat. Yeah, if you're careful. I'll have to cut that off very carefully. Let's see what else we got here. Here's a bopper, Don Abram, $34.50. Here's another bopper. This is Jimmy Work. This is like a bluegrass bopper, $57.50. There's a whole bunch of these country boppers. Let's see. Warren Miller. Here's another oddball one. Let's take it out of here for a second. Here's a country. This one's a bopper rockabilly country, 5750, early United label. It just depends on what you're looking for and how lucky you are to run across these. I buy these in lots all the time, and this is what we end up getting out of them. Let's see here. This is Nino and the Ebb-Tides. This is another, I guess, doo-wop, I think this one is. Yeah, this one's a doo-wop. This one's one I haven't seen before, so I actually had to look this one up straight out. And it goes for around $50, $57.50 I'm putting on it. I've gotten autographs too on 45s. I've talked about that. I got an Elvis just the other day. This is the second Elvis I've gotten in probably 6 or 7 months. They do show up because people don't realize that it's signed. They just think it's somebody's the owner or something writing on them. Elvis's are usually written in silver, and that's how I knew right off the bat. I have had it looked at. It is an authentic one. It's not in great condition though, so it's only worth a few $100. To have it authenticated, it takes a couple $100 because Elvis is one of the ones that's mostly faked, so that's why you don't see a lot of good condition ones. But let me just go a little quicker, just grab a few other ones. This is a let's see, Remington Brothers. That's why this one is. It's Wake Up Little Susie and Lot 11. It's a $75 one. Let's back up for this one here. This is the Singing Brady Bunch. This is literally one of their songs from Charlotte's Web, and then it's Zuckerman's Famous Pig. So they did a bunch of other stuff too. That one's like $27.50. There's an early Soul. This one here's like $95. Let me zoom back in for you. I'll just show you a couple more and let it be for today. I know everybody doesn't like records or doesn't like to mess with them, but they're huge money makers for us. Wingate. This is an early one. $95 for this one. Let me just show you one more, if I can figure out where it's at. I'm sure it's in this bunch. Oh, here it is. Here's a $300 one. And Neil and Jack. Now that Neil is actually Neil Diamond. This is before he did his own thing. This is one of his earlier ones. It's on an oddball record label. This is a $300 record. Now you can look it up for yourself. Look it up on PopSite. Look it up on eBay. If there's one that's sold recently, $300 is about average for a decent copy like this. This is probably a VG Plus or somewhere about, at least the disc is itself. Label's a little worn, but that's just literally what we find. This is a good one. I've got about probably 40 or more that are probably $57.50 to $75 a piece, plus a couple hundred, $150, and then I've got 2 that are $300 out of the lot that you saw this stack. So here's the postcards. This is what I've got out of this. Let me skip just a few. I'm sure you've seen a ton of postcards. California ones always sell for us. I've got $1 a piece into the postcards. They'll be quick movers. These California ones. These are the best ones here. These train ones here. This might be $100, $150 on this one. Again, these are $1 a piece. But here's a train one here. This one should go for like $125 or better. I've got actually 2. They're nice early images. They're California, small town. These should go very, very well. Unused on the back. Another early one with the same border. Another California scene. Again, most of this kind of one's $17, $18. This one here I'll probably have to look up at $17, $18 minimum. And here's where we go into a few better ones. This is on the way to, this is on the way to Lake Tahoe. This is like a 57 one, 57.50 range. You can look this one up here. San Luis Obispo, I guess that's pronounced. But 57.50, you can see this one all day on eBay. That's about what they go for, $30 to $50. Now we're getting into some of the better Tahoe ones, but as I said, Lake Tahoe ones always sell. This one here is probably going to shell us out, probably get, say, $30 for this one here. But the best one here is this one here. This one's the inside of a casino. I put it in a sleeve. I've got 2 of these, like a resort club in Tahoe. You can see the roulette table, the wheels, the gambling tables. A similar one to this went for almost $700 last year. I haven't seen this one before at all, but you can see the content on this one. It's a real picture postcard. Nice early one. I'm guessing I'm probably going to put at least $500, maybe even up to $750 on this card. You'll be surprised what this one goes for. I'll pretty much guarantee it's going to go for at least $150. No way around it. Just a killer image, and all the way up to, say, $700. I'm going to put this up, but I'll let you know what happens at the end so you can see. But I was very happy to see this card, and this next one here, which is the inside of the same place. Just a different part of it. So, and it's another real picture postcard. Again, this one I just saw sell for $100. This one you're looking at now. So I should get some decent money out of it. It's a nice early image. Nice early inside the bar, inside the lounge area. Nice rocks built into the wall, and it's just an amazing shot. But these all sell very well. One of these postcards is going to pay for everything I got. Another Lake Tahoe. I'll run it this way so you can kind of see. But all these real picture postcards, this is probably like $27 range. Here's another one in the same area, Lake Tahoe area, 27. I haven't picked up some newer ones. These 80s clothing stuff from California. This one's probably, say, 40 or 50 bucks. Another one, this is Universal City Studio. This one here, because of Frankenstein, I'd probably put 18 bucks on this one and probably get it. And now these I looked up. I had to look these up too. These here are around 50 bucks a piece for these. They're Sam Stagecoach Inn, and you can look them up yourself. You'll see some of these up there right now, 30 to 75 bucks. And I've got quite a few of them. I've got 5 of them actually, all from the same place. I guess it's defunct now. It's some kind of like hangout, but they should all sell. And let's see the last one here. I've got tons more, but I'm just showing you the highlights. This is the Witchcraft and Magic Museum in California. I think it's defunct too. And this one should be, say, 20 bucks or so. But that's it on what I'll show you on the postcards, and you can kind of see the value in something like this. I don't have a ton of money into any of this. And it's stuff that I always see and you can run across too. The postcards are, some of these are even newer postcards, so paper always sells for us. Well, there you go. That's my haul for today. Some of it's from the record haul from this week, where I got 1,000 plus. And again, this is what I got. With the records, I have just under $200 into everything you saw. One of these records alone goes for 300 plus. And these aren't just made up prices. You can go ahead and look yourself. I've given you Pop Psych if you haven't known about that before. And you can see what some of these records religiously, routinely sell for. My prices, on some of them I did price higher than I expect to get. That's just typical. Usually the higher dollar ones I want to put right at the mark, so when I look, the last minute I'm doing is actually adjusting, and I'll look and see if any new ones sold in the week or two since I got these, or maybe a month or two since I got them. Sometimes I price them when I get them and they won't sell for, even go up for another 30 days, maybe 60 days, even up to 90 days. So with employees though, I'll just be writing conditions on all these, and I'll have somebody list them all for me. Just sit there all day long, 8 hours, and list as many records as they can get. That's my haul. Hopefully you saw something that you could find, something you can make money at too. If you liked it, please hit the like button, subscribe, and tell a friend.